everybody some Monday motivation. I've been thinking about everybody. Sometimes I take a break every now and then from doing any sort of live. I think that it's good. It helps kind of refresh and revitalize where you're at. Sometimes you get a little exhausted. So I always want to make sure, that I'm motivating, inspiring, and encouraging people even as I go through what I go through on this journey. But I just want to remind people that you are exactly where you need to be. Sometimes you have to do an internal inventory check within yourself, and we all battle lots of isms, depression, how we feel about ourselves, the self-esteem part, weighing in on other people's judgments of who we are, and those things a lot of times are used for the enemy. The enemy will put so many people to make you second guess where you are at, and you have to remember that God placed you in a time to grow you. Some of us are at a time where we need to be still and listen to what God is telling us to in the season. Some of us need to be obedient. Some of us need to be more productive and progressive in this time. Some of us need to just spark up the dreams that we have been sitting on for a long time and stop waiting on everybody else to validate, who we are and what we're trying to achieve and conquer. You got to remember that sometimes people's insecurities or envies will get in the way of your journey, because sometimes they envy where you are at. Sometimes they envy that the very part of you that can survive, that can sustain during storms and trials. Some of the things that you've endured, some people wouldn't make it to where you have made it. And you have to give glory to God for who He has positioned you to be. And stop apologizing for that. I'm telling you, I stopped apologizing for those things a long time ago. And I walked in those things in humility and grace. But understand that you every now and then have to do an inventory check within yourself. Are there things that you need to grow better in? Are there things that you could be more productive and progressive in? Sometimes we get exhausted and we get overwhelmed and we put some things in the side because we're just tired of it, or we'll get back to it later. And then later becomes a year. And then a year becomes 2 years and 3 years and 5 years. And next thing you know, you're sitting on dreams and you're sitting on manifestations that were meant to be executed a long time ago. But I'm here to tell you that it's never too late. It is never too late. As I'm rebuilding my life in a great, beautiful 33, and I've accomplished a lot of great things, but I'm ready for the next step. It is no longer about what I did do or what I didn't do, but what am I going to do? What am I going to do to further enhance what God is trying to help me do, which is build my empire, which is add to the kingdom, which is continue to be fruitful in my gifts. So it's important to recognize that, are you taking time to heed the gifts that are inside of you? Are you taking time to heal? Are you taking time to be delivered? Because if you ask of all these things, they shall be done. And a lot of us are just going and going like the Energizer Bunny, but are you spiritually being energized? Are you spiritually being revitalized? Are you spiritually taking care of yourself on this journey? Because it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how much accolades you have. If your spirit is run down and if you fall apart, what are you going to have? How are you going to be effective for what God is trying to call you to? And that's a greater purpose within yourself. So I'm here to tell you on this Motivating Monday is don't forget about who you are. Don't forget about your purpose. Don't forget about your plan. Don't forget that you matter in the inside. When it's all said and done, it's about who you are trying to obtain to be. Stop trying to please everybody. Stop trying to question what God is doing in you and for you and through you. Stop trying to undermine yourself in this season. Stop trying to fit in the mold with everybody else. God has made you peculiar for a reason. God has given you vision for a reason. And it's about you executing those things, being confident, walking in holy boldness, and knowing that God is going to do everything and help you through this process, even through the hell. If you just praise through the hell, I promise you that God will reward you. He will provide for you, and you got to stop being bitter. You got to be focused. Excuse me, everybody. Stop worrying about what other people are doing on this journey. You got to look at yourself, what you didn't do, why you were moved. Like, you got to deal with yourself in this time if you want God to do something great coming into 2018. 2018 is about a launching period for all of us. So get ready for the launch. You can't get ready for the launch if you are still dealing with what you didn't do. So get prepared for the launch in 2018. That's dreams, visions, goal, bigger kingdom building, bigger ideas. Let's execute it. Let's get it. It's Monday Motivation. God bless you all. Thank you, Reverend Nikita. Lady. Bye.